Welcome this evening, everybody. Hi, my name's Julia. I'm one of the business development managers here in Thermomix, and super grateful to be joined tonight with two of our phenomenal team leaders, Abby and Lee. I'm going to get them to introduce themselves shortly as we get going. Tonight is a Thermomix cooking demonstration, and it's our intention to give you a bit of an introduction to the Thermomix and just to see how perhaps having a Thermomix on your benchtop could be a really incredibly life-changing decision, as it was for myself when I purchased one 8 years ago. And tonight, we would just want to share with you just the differences that having a Thermomix can make in having the kitchen. And what we find is that people, today are really facing lots of different challenges when it comes to cooking. Some people we find, have got health issues and cutting out gluten and various things in their diet. Others are finding, just the phenomenal increase in costs of food and just being really mindful of how can we waste less food in the house. We find other people are looking for ways to kind of meal plan and just make that juggle of feeding yourselves and your family really easily. And also, some people are wanting inspiration in the kitchen. They're getting a bit bored of cooking the way that they always cook. So we absolutely love showing and working with you how Thermomix can fit into all of that. What we would love for tonight is for it to be as interactive as possible. If you are able to come off, pop your camera on and chat with us during the session, we would so much love that. Otherwise, feel free to use the chat box and we'll do our best to keep an eye on any questions and things there. And then what will happen at the end of the session, we'll have an opportunity to, answer any questions specific to you that you do have. So what I would first of all love to do is for you guys just to either pop in the chat box or come off our microphone and let us know what is the most important thing to you when it comes to cooking. Is it that you're looking for ways to save time, save money, look after your health? If anyone wants to pop that in the chat, I'm just going to pull that up or jump off your mic. Good luck.
Save time and money and get the kids to cook.
All right, and while people are doing that, so Hene, she's looking after important things to you, eating healthy and saving time. Fantastic. Thanks for sharing, Hene. We would love to show you some different ways that could possibly fit with you. Clarissa, easy meals, nutritious and saving money. Absolutely, I can totally relate to that. And Dasha, saving time, money and getting the kids to cook. Oh, awesome. I love that, Dasha. Thank you for sharing. We will do our absolute best tonight to show you different ways that, a Thermomix can perhaps fit into your lifestyle. Before we get cooking though, I would like to give you a bit of background to Thermomix as a company, where the Thermomix is manufactured and how that all works. So I've got a wee video I'm going to share with you. It's about 3.5 minutes long, and hopefully it will just answer some of those questions around Thermomix and where it comes from.
Abby, I don't think we can hear it. Have you got sound?
No.
I'm not sure if Abby can hear it. She's kindly playing the video for us, but there is no sound working. Of course it wasn't.
Okay, hold on.
Of course it worked when we tested it before you guys jumped on.
I've just done the share button, the share sound button this time. It wouldn't work for us earlier. So hold on a sec and we will.
Thanks,
Poland,
Abby.
she saw the possibilities of the Thermomix firsthand.
Straight away, I saw how Thermomix could inspire people to create delicious food while spending less time in the kitchen and more time on the things that matter. Our mission is to make a difference in people's lives by helping them to easily create healthy, delicious meals every day and enjoy it. And now, with the smart connected TM6, it's all at the touch of a button.
The manufacturer of Vorwerk, Wals Global, is a family business at heart, just like our family business here in New Zealand and Australia.
Growing up, Thermomix was a big part of our family. As a teenager, it got me in the kitchen creating new things and ignited my passion for food. Now as a dietitian and a mum, I get to pass on my knowledge of health and nutrition and my passion for cooking with my children and the whole Thermomix community.
Today, more than 2,000 consultants share cooking experiences with people around New Zealand and Australia. More than 13 million Thermomixes have been sold across 40 different countries, including almost 500,000 here in New Zealand and Australia. And many top chefs are cooking with Thermomix too. Since 1971, Vorwerk has been producing Thermomix in Germany and France, helping people around the world to create a lifetime of amazing meals. German precision engineering, paired with cutting-edge technology, combines 20 different functions into the one compact Thermomix appliance. Thermomix was first to introduce guided cooking, an innovative way to create meals by simply following the on-screen step-by-step instructions.
We've developed over 15 cookbooks and more than 2,100 triple-tested recipes on Cookie-Do, our digital recipe library. Your Cookie-Do subscription also provides you access to over 42,000 recipes from countries all around the world. What I love about my TM6 is that I can search for any of these recipes on Cookie-Do directly on the screen of my Thermomix.
Today, your consultant will show you how Thermomix can help you to easily create delicious food smarter and faster. If you are curious about becoming Thermomix consultant, the next step is as simple as having a chat with your consultant today.
Now it's time for your consultant to show you what you can create with your smart connected Thermomix. Thank you for coming to today's cooking experience and sharing in our love for Thermomix. We hope you enjoy.
Thanks, Abby. Yes, we absolutely do hope you enjoyed this evening. And what I would love to inspire you, for some of you seeing the Thermomix for the first time tonight on a virtual like this one here, may be enough for you to work out how a Thermomix could potentially fit into your life. For others, you may want to get hands-on with the Thermomix. And we have Thermomix consultants right throughout the country. And honestly, they are the most valuable people in our business because they are able to work with you and show you firsthand, actually get you to have a wee test drive for you yourselves, create your own bespoke menu and work out how a Thermomix could specifically benefit you. So if that's of interest, we'd love to have a chat with you later on this evening. So tonight we're going to get cooking. Before we do, just the last thing I want to mention is the price of the Thermomix. So at the moment, the Thermomix comes as an all-inclusive package, $2,499, and it comes with everything that you need to cook with the Thermomix. It also comes with a Thermomix consultant who is there to get you up and running and to ensure that you are getting absolutely every penny out of your investment. I do want to give you all a heads up. We have been informed by the company that there is going to be a price rise coming, most likely in July. We don't have information yet on exactly how much that is, but we do know that will be happening. So I just wanted to give you a sneaky little inside word there. Anyway, enough from me. We're going to get cooking and we're going to head over to Lee's kitchen, who is going to create a really beautiful dish for you. Thanks, Lee.
Fantastic. Thanks, Julia. It's great to be here this evening. Welcome to my kitchen. Abby's just bringing up a couple of screens, so hopefully you can see me up here, and then there should be another screen that has my camera right front and center on the Thermomix. So I'm going to show you here, just maybe a thumbs up. Dasha, can you see too there? We good? Awesome, thanks. So on the Thermomix itself, you do have the ability to use it manually. Hands up the creative cooks. Who likes putting their own ingredients together to create something? Share it in the chat box. Are you a creative cook, or do you like more of structure and instruction and following a recipe? Which team? Or a bit of both maybe. I'm certainly a bit of both. I do like a guided recipe, but with the Thermomix, you have the ability to do the free flow cooking as well. So down here, you'll see you've got time, temperature, and speed. And so you can use those manually to create whatever it is that you're wanting to cook or do. And then we've also got the guided recipe. So I'm going to be doing the most delicious creamy coconut chicken curry tonight. It's an absolute winner. It's done in under 30 minutes, so a really quick one, and you'll be able to see lots of the functions and modes. I don't know if I was saying modes or functions then. Functions and modes that the Thermomix can do. So I'm going to click into my little menu here, and I've actually put it into my my week. So one of the cool things with the Thermomix is you can set what you want to be cooking in advance. So you can use the weekly planner, and it's easy to go into that, just going into my little hamburger menu up the top there, and then coming over here into my week. Who likes planning out their meals? Are you a planner or a winger? Do you like to just kind of go on the fly? Who goes to the supermarket every single day and walks around aimlessly without a list and no clue what they're cooking that night? You can put it in what you're wanting to do. So I've got here the creamy coconut chicken curry. And I have a couple of things I can do on this screen. Can arrow down and it tells me all the information for the recipe, the ingredients, how long it takes, the process, and any tips. One of the tips with this particular recipe is that you can make the tandoori paste ahead of time, which I have done. And then it's as simple as just saying, start cooking. So it's a guided recipe. Take the lid off, and I'm just going to follow the steps here. So I've got my cauliflower, and I have pre-prepared a few ingredients just for the sake of time, being on a virtual tonight. I have got my florets all here in a bowl. I'm going to tear off the scales. Everything is done by weight, so it gives us the consistency for our recipes as well. You know, a cup of flour can be, you know, quite variable. We're going to use it by weight here, going in 300 grams of cauliflower or thereabouts. You know, I'm very much getting close enough when it comes to the measurements with my cooking. Going to pop my lid and measuring cup here on the top. Go next. And then it's just telling me here to turn the speed selector to speed 5. So we're going to go into a chopping function now. So super quick, 5 seconds. Ta-da. And that actually uses the reverse side of the blade. So it's a blunt side of the blade so that it can just chop that cauliflower beautifully. You can see there, where are my angles? And it's just given that a nice chop. If it was the sharp side of the blade, it would actually start to puree it. And I'm doing a cauliflower rice, so a really nice low carb, healthy way to be cooking. And that's going to go into the varoma dish. We're going to use this shortly for steaming. So it's a bit of layered cooking, which is pretty cool. I love that it's keeping all the goodness and the nutrients in the food as it's cooking as well. Going to my next step, and I've got another batch of cauliflower to add in. So I've got 300 more grams going in or thereabouts. I just had a sort of medium-sized cauliflower, so I'm rolling with what I had there. A little bit less than the measurement. So next, lid and measuring cup on again, and it's the same process. And I'm actually going to do less time, so I can manually bypass that. It would be 5 seconds, but I don't think I'm going to need all that. I'm just going to do 3, and then give it a quick chop as well. Speed 5. And then put that into the varoma dish with the other cauliflower. So depending on the quantities of what you're doing, if I tried to do all that cauliflower in one go, the volume would be quite a lot, and I wouldn't get that beautiful consistency there. The recipe development team have done all the thinking for us, which is awesome. We know that they're pretty, you know, always really accurate. Pop the bowl back in. This recipe tells you to clean and dry the mixing bowl, but I'm just going to start making curry, and I actually don't mind that there's a few grains of cauliflower in there, so I'm just going to carry on. Got some fresh ginger. Top tip, I never ever peel my ginger because the Thermomix is going to be chopping it for me, so I just put it in like so. And I've got quite a bit more because I do like it quite gingery. 1 garlic clove, I've got 3. So even though it is guided, I still cook the way I like to cook. I laugh at a recipe that says 1 clove of garlic. What's the point? Gonna leave out the chili. My family are not too keen on the spice. I'm gonna leave that one out for the kids. Put my lid back on again. Nice fast turn to speed 7. It's going to chop that down. And now it's telling me not to scrape down the bowl. So a lot of recipes, it will ask you after a chop to scrape things down, because as it's being chopping, it does tend to go up the sides of the bowl. Where's my angle there? So we want to keep all that beautiful garlic and ginger up around the sides of the bowl, because in the next step is the onions. We're going to start to saute those off. If we pushed all that garlic back down, it's going to saute off at a faster speed and has the potential to burn. So we're going to keep it up around the sides of the bowl. 200 grams of onion. I just got 2 medium-sized onions and kind of rolling off that. Cut it into wedges. Got some olive oil. 20 grams, so go quite slowly with the oil there. And there, 20 grams. And if you liked cooking with other things like ghee or, you know, oil of choice, you could absolutely swap that out. Now we're going to pop on the splash guard. I'm going to put the lid on there. I've got my splash guard handy here. This is one of the accessories that does come with a Thermomix and is used whenever we're going into that high heat sauteing. So we're getting right up to 160 degrees. So we're going to get some caramelization, some sweating off of the onions. And it's going to let the steam come out so that we're not stewing them away. We're actually letting the steam come out, and it's going to cover the hole in the top of the lid. So it's really safe, which is one of the functions I absolutely love, especially having small kids in the home. So I've done that, and then I'm just going to activate it, and you'll see here it's got the high heat function on the screen. Once we turn that, it's going to activate that, and it's going to cook now for 4.5 minutes. It's going to stir as it's heating, and it means that I'm hands-free. So what I could do at this point is actually come over into the preview mode and look at the steps ahead. So I might get the chicken and start chopping that and getting it ready, or doing the dishes. What would you do with an extra 4.5 minutes while you're not having to stir your cooking? Pop it in the chat box. What would you do? 4.5 minutes at night. It's quite a long time, 4.5 minutes. Henny's making a cocktail. Yes, Henny, I love that. What's everyone else going to do 4.5 minutes? Abby, have you got a functions page that we can pop up on the screen there handy?
I sure can.
Love it. Kathy's having a tidy up. Julia's checking her emails. Oh, I love that. Gives you back that time to do things. So Abby's just going to pop something up on the screen for us now. So the video mentioned 20 modes and functions. Since that was filmed, the Thermomix has just gotten better and better, and we've had more things added because it is Wi-Fi connected. We get all these wonderful updates and new accessories and things. So we're actually up to 33 functions and modes there. So you can see on your screen the things the Thermomix can do. You're going to see a lot of those tonight, but if there's something that you're really curious about, reach out to your consultant and have a chat with them about designing your own menu and using some of those functions, or stay on at the end if you've got any questions as well. We'd love to help you with those. But it's a really great way to book in a demo and see more of those in use as well. So thanks, Abby. I think we're going to head on over to your kitchen, Abby.
I think that's right. I'm just going to spotlight myself. There we go. Hey, everybody. I was trying to be fancy and pop up another video so you guys can see my screen a little better, but that was not happening. So this is what we're working with tonight. Welcome on into my kitchen. We're zooming in from Pahiatua. I am a team leader for a few areas around here: Gisborne, Hawke's Bay, Manawatu and Wairarapa, and I've seen a few of my lovely consultants on here tonight as well, so welcome on in. Lovely to see so many guests, potential people looking at a Thermomix. Maybe it's something that you want on your bench, and hopefully tonight you're going to get a really great overview of some of the things it can do. So today the recipe I get to make is the beautiful pizza Bianca. And what I've done is I've saved that into my weekly planner, I'm definitely someone who enjoys to plan my week out. I've found it saves me money in my groceries, and it just saves that headspace of thinking, what am I going to make this week? So I do try to plan that in advance. And you know, Julia mentioned earlier, there's lots of reasons why a Thermomix can help on the bench, and I feel like I fit into all of those categories. Saving money is hugely important to us. I'm a busy mum, so getting those meals out on time, otherwise, you know, the worms are biting at the children. I love to cook, so I do love getting creative in the kitchen as well. All right, so I'm just going to follow through my recipe on the screen here. I have got my oven already going, and it says 2 garlic cloves and some rosemary. However, I have not got any garlic at the moment. I've got some garlic paste that I've made in the fridge, but I didn't really want to use that in there, so I prefer whole garlic cloves. So we need to do groceries, but that's okay, I'm making do. So I've got some rosemary from my garden, so I'm going to put the rosemary in. Oops, I'm getting it everywhere. And what I'm going to do instead of garlic is actually just add a little bit of Parmesan cheese, because I thought that might be quite tasty. A little bit of garlic and rosemary, Parmesan and rosemary, yum. Love to know what you guys would make if you were making a pizza bread, or you know, pizza for your families at home. What toppings are your favorites? Right, so just got a couple of bits of Parmesan, that's all I've got left. Yes, groceries are on the list for tomorrow, so a couple of little bits like that. It's great to goozle these bits up. And it's telling me 4 seconds, speed 7, but I'm going to ignore that slightly because my Parmesan, I want it to actually whiz up a little bit finer than that, and I'm not worried if my rosemary gets a bit finer as well. So I'm going to push that past and probably go up to speed 8, 8.5. Might be a little bit noisy. We'll see how we go. Perfect. All right, I'm going to show you what this looks like and then jump back to Lea. Oh yeah, smells delicious. So you see how fast that was. So that was just 4 seconds. I don't know about you, but I don't think I would have been grating the Parmesan that quickly without a Thermomix. All right, Lea, jumping back to you back.
Thanks, Abby. So while you were blitzing, my onions and garlic and ginger have all sauteed off beautifully. So I'll just show you that. Starting to get a little bit of caramelization on the onions, so just a little bit, and I have got quite a bit of onion in there tonight. Got that beautiful flavor. So one of the great things with the TM6 is that high heat function. So the previous model to that cooked a little bit lower temp, so you didn't get all that caramelization and flavor. And got the tandoori paste. So that's in the tips that you can make ahead of time. And I typically make this about maybe every 4, 5, 6 weeks, something like that. And it's fabulous because I can use it for, you know, chicken kebab sticks. I put it on fish, lots of ways, you know, use it as a marinade with a bit of yogurt. And tonight it's going to go into the curry. So I'm just going to go in with 90 grams. And for
Lea, Marianne's just asked there why the onion isn't chopped up in this recipe.
Yeah, so great question there, Marianne. It does suggest wedges, and what I actually do at this step is I do give it a little bit of a chop because I find on the palette it's a little bit nicer. So you can bypass the guided recipe, and yeah, once my tandoori paste is in, I'm going to give that a little blitz through. So yeah, great question there. If you preferred it whole, you could, and even if you like a more sort of traditional curry that has a really smooth sauce like a butter chicken, they actually will typically puree the onions right down, so you can make it your own. So here I've got my tandoori paste in, the tomato paste. I've just got some from the shop tonight, but it is something that you can make with your Thermomix if you've got tomatoes in abundance. You're a gardener. I absolutely love things like making all my paste because for me and my family, we've got dietary needs, and it's really important that we get all the additives out. And if you're buying those pastes and things, this can be a great way to know what's in your food. Bit of water. Actually, before I put the water in, this is where I'm just going to come and go into that manual mode here. I'm just going to click on the home screen now and use those temperature, time, and speed. So I'm just going to put about 4 seconds. I don't think we're going to need very long. And you get really familiar with the sounds of your Thermomix and what's needed when it's doing a bit of a chop. So even there, I think that was about 2 seconds. I can just hear it was already starting to chop down beautifully. I have a quick little look. I'll give it another couple of seconds. And you can always stop it whenever you need to, just by tapping on that little silver selector button as well. So there you go. I've just given those a bit of a blitz down. So it's still got some texture, but not quite the same as a wedge, you know, onion wedges in there. And then it's saved where I'm up to. So if you can see there, it's got a little bookmark at the top of the screen. If I click back in there, it's going to go back in, and then I carry on. So I'm going to put in about 100 grams of water. And I didn't pre-measure this. I've got a couple of drops left in a bowl. I'm just going to add that in as well. 118, absolutely fine. Asking for some almond meal. And I did actually use the milling function to do some almond meal before I came on. And it's literally just fresh almonds, and I milled that in speed 10, so the highest speed of the Thermomix. And that took probably about, I don't know, 20 seconds just to mill that all down. So I'll pop that into my container, and then I'll have that for baking. What would you use milling for? Does anything come to mind? Pop it in the chat box. Are you buying any pre-packet things? I'm also one of the biggest Scrooges. I absolutely love saving money having a Thermomix. It's one of the things I share lots in my demos and with customers, is the cost savings, and doing things like this will save you a lot of money. So it's great there. Got icing sugar, spices. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just going to use some of that almond meal. I'll just find my spoon. 20 grams. And again, I like to add more than 20. I usually go about 50. So typically we'll put in a bit more. And if you didn't have almonds, you could absolutely use cashews. Right, good few spoonfuls there. And the benefit of having that second bowl means you can do things mid-recipe. You know, if I didn't have any almond meal in the cupboard, I could swap that out, just whiz it as I needed it. Also great for batch cooking if you wanted to do a couple of recipes at the same time. I'm going to add in my chicken. Oh yeah, Gemma's milling some whole wheat, and Julia's doing her coffee beans. Yeah, I love that. My chicken's going in. And I have got quite a bit more chicken. And that's also great. One of the things, you know, it is a guide, so you can adjust the quantities and the portions, and that's something that you can do quite easily. Going on with a little bit of salt. So even if you're cooking for 1 or 2, or you've, you know, a bigger family and entertaining, it's a great way to adjust it. If you are increasing your proteins, you don't need to double your cook time either. You just adjust it by about 25%. Now I'm going to pop the lid on. What's your favorite Indian takeaway? If you're off buying Indian, or if you're making it at home, what's your go-to favorite recipe? This is a really great one. It's quite a westernized curry, not too spicy. You know, if you've got people who are not into the spice. Absolutely beautiful. It was my most cooked recipe in 2022. Cauliflower is in the Veroma dish there. And you may notice I'm just popping a little hole to allow some of the steam to come through as it's cooking. So while the chicken is cooking there, we've got the beautiful vapor and aroma coming through. It's going to steam off on the top. So you can do layered cooking with your Thermomix. Comes with the Veroma and the tray. So you could actually be doing several layers at once. Can you think of anything that you might steam and cook at the same time? Anything that you would be quite keen to try? I like doing a whole chicken in here, a layer of veggies, or some salmon and vegetables, and then a beautiful soup. Or sometimes I'll do things like a marinara sauce and mussels and seafood on top.
Hey
Lee, we've just had a couple of questions come in. Someone's asked, how long does the blade last, and when it gets blunt, can it be sharpened? Rihanna, what we typically find with the blade is we don't need to resharpen them. They're made of an incredible collagen steel, you know, from Germany, and they do stay sharp for a really, really long time. To give you an idea, I had my previous Thermomix, my TM5, I think it was about after 5 years, and I'm talking really solid use. Like I use my Thermomix 3-4 times a day, and I'd also been using it as a consultant. I think it was after about 5 years I replaced the blade. You can get all the individual components of the blade, the lid, you know, all separately, which is really awesome and very easy to replace that. We have another question around whether you could make this curry nut free. Have you subbed in anything different for the nuts, Lee?
Yeah, you absolutely could leave the nuts out. If I've got a can of chickpeas or even just dried chickpeas, I'll, you know, hydrate them and pop them into the curry as well. It's yours to adapt how you like. So yeah, definitely can.
I find the nuts just kind of thicken it a little bit, don't they? So you could even put a little bit of, you know, corn flour or something mixed with a little bit of water if you were wanting a thicker curry, or just leave it out and have a less thick curry. And there was one other comment from Marianne I just wanted to mention. She said that she's found the Thermomix sometimes shreds the chicken. A couple of little tips there, Marianne. You have mentioned that you can use the butterfly. Absolutely, you can do that. What we'll typically find, and a lot of recipes do kind of recommend using the chicken thigh instead of chicken breast. We find that cooks really well in chicken curries. And I would always cut the bits bigger than what you think you need to cut them, because they do, yeah, kind of shrink down while they're cooking. And always make sure you're on the reverse blade if you're doing a recipe manually, so that the blunt side of the blade is really slowly going around. Usually a combo of those things will give you, and you will see Lee's chicken curry tonight. She'll show us.
Awesome. Thanks, Julia. Hopefully my internet's okay. I'm getting a little, it's unstable. Are we good? Can you hear me okay?
Sure can. Yep, no
Awesome.
worries.
So I'll carry on. So it's just going to cook now for 8 minutes. So before you had 4.5 minutes hands-free, now you've got a whole 8 minutes hands-free. What are you going to do with 8 minutes when you're not having to stand and stir your chicken? So I'm just going to activate that now. Turn the dial, 8 minutes on that varoma. So it's 114 degrees, steaming away. I'm going to go put some things in the dishwasher.
Wonderful, Lee. I know there's plenty of things that I could be doing, sorry, in that 8 minutes time. Folding, washing for one. We love that job, don't we? All right, guys, I am up to making my wonderful pizza dough now. And I've put my topping to the side, and I'm just going to keep following on with this recipe now. So it's just asking me to weigh in 220 grams of water. So if you haven't seen the Thermomix in action before, you don't need measuring cups anymore. You can just weigh in. It's fantastic. So I'm just going to weigh that in. And I'm just putting in cold water. So you'll see why in a minute. With water, I just want to go nice and slow so that, well, with any liquid really, it does tend to rise super quickly. So I've got my 220. And it says raw sugar. I'm actually just going to leave the sugar out. I don't often add my sugar, and it still rises perfectly fine. 2 teaspoons of dried yeast. Pop those in, and when I'm putting that in, I'm just being really mindful to not get it on top of the blades. You know, we want that yeast to be in the water. Okay, and I'm just popping my lid on now. And that is going to heat 2 minutes, 37 degrees at speed 1. So we'll just leave that to heat away. And in the meantime, while that's going, what I might do is actually pop cookie dough up very briefly and just introduce you guys to a little bit about the wonderful world of cookie dough. Oh, stop. Sorry. There we go. Okay. So Cookie Dough is our amazing recipe platform. One of the things that I love the most about being a consultant is we get to earn some of these amazing incentives as well. So Cookie Dough is one of the things we earn later on in the year. It is a subscription-based service. Anyone can jump on for free though. So jump on, a month free trial, have a little look. And when you get a Thermomix, you get 6 months for free as well. After that, it's $70 or $69 Australian per year. And it is the best platform for recipes you're going to come across. So where do you even start? But tonight we're going to start with pizza because that's what we're cooking now. So let me just, you can see what I've been searching, lots of different beautiful recipes. If I just pop in pizza, you're going to see how many recipes are going to come up for all different types of pizza, you know, or quiches, anything to do with or along the lines of different pizzas. There's some yummy things on here. And what I might like to do is find something that looks really tasty and pop it on my menu. Like I said, I like to menu plan. So I could say, add this to my week, and let's put it on for next week, for Monday. Or maybe I'd like it to add it to one of my collections, which is like a little cookbook that I have put together. I might want to put it on my dinner collection. Now, if I have a look here, here's my weekly calendar. I can scroll down and I can see what I've got planned for my next week. I can also then add them to my shopping list here, go through my ingredients and tick off anything that I've got, leaving what I need to purchase, and I can go through and shop and order them on Countdown online, which is pretty amazing. There's lots of other cool things about Cookie Do, and that's the kind of great things that your consultant will help you with to get yourself set up when you purchase a machine. You can search by things like dairy-free, gluten-free, by ingredient. It's pretty phenomenal. All right, I'm just going to add my flour now. So my yeast is all nice and bubbly. I can smell it, smells delicious. Actually, I love the smell of that. Adding my flour now, 400 grams of baker's flour. Now, if you don't have baker's flour, just high-grade flour will be perfect. You can buy baker's flour from places like Bin In, or you can buy it bulk. You know, being near the Manawatu, we're lucky to have Gilmore, so I tend to buy a lot of kind of bulk ingredients from there. Like 400 grams. 30 grams of oil. Again, no need for a measuring spoon. Pop it on it. And some salt. Now, Lee talked earlier about milling functions. This is a really cool little thing that you can get from the mix shop, and you can use it for different spices. I've got my salt and pepper in here, and these are, I grind these myself. So I just buy a big bag of peppercorns, a big bag of salt, and grind when needed. And that just sits on the bench, nice and easy to get to. It's a really great little tip there. It's actually quite a good way to save money too, because then you've got you know, the whole ingredients rather than all the different ones in your pantry. Okay, popping my lid on now, and we're going to start our kneading. So we're kneading this bread for 2 minutes. I think they say that a Thermomix kneading is, what is it? Julie, you might have to remind me, 1 minute of kneading, and this is with 10 minutes of hand kneading.
Yeah, I think it's doing it 2 minutes of kneading in the Thermomix, is equivalent to 10 minutes by hand. So yes, super time saver.
So good. Right, I was just going to have a look through. We've got some questions. Someone said, Evie, I saw the baked pizzola in your planner, a new recipe. Have you tried it? Yes, we made it tonight. So I'd actually planned something different. We have a soup on, and I made the soup for lunch instead and made the pizzola. I don't know if that's how you say it. It's so good. So good. Everybody loved it. Can you only use Thermomix recipes, or can you download others? You can download recipes from the recipe community, which is a hub of Thermomix users, consultants, customers who've put their own recipes onto a website. We can download them, and we can also manually add our own recipes into the Thermomix. Yes, yeah. So just not from other sites other than your Cookie Do or the recipe community. And we have a really great Zoom, what do we call it, class that's run once a month, all about how to use that Cookie Do and make the most of it as well. Which I just see Lee's from there. Thank you, Lee. Amazing, phenomenal. All right, we are nearly done here, guys. It's looking good. What I'm going to do when that's done is wrap it up in my trusty little Thermomix. You can get these as host rewards. So we've talked a little bit about having a cooking experience in person, or like this virtual with a couple of your friends. This is something that you might choose to get. But the other cool thing is you can get this in your business kit when you actually sign up to be a consultant. So we get the amazing Thermomix, and you also get the cool thermo server, which I'm sure you'll see someone use tonight. Look at that clean bowl. That dough has come out beautifully. Like, it's so good. So I'm going to let that rise very quickly. Pop that in the oven with my topping on so you guys can see what it comes out like. And I think I'm going back to Lee, or are you going, where are we at, Lee? Cool.
Yeah, you can come whiz on back to me if you like. That was good timing, Abby. Excuse me. So it's just time me to give my cauliflower a little stir while it's been steaming away. Smells incredible, all those beautiful flavors and spices from that tandoori paste. And then I'm going to pop that back in. Next, put my aroma lid back on, and it's going to do another cook for just 4 minutes.
Wonderful, thanks. So we might jump over to Julia now, hey?
Yeah, I reckon 4 minutes is enough time to make dessert in the Thermomix. Do you reckon? My family's very pleased that I drew the dessert straw tonight. They're going to get a little bit of a treat shortly. So I am going to be making what we call the Thermomix Fruity Dream. And I clearly remember the very first time I saw this recipe being made. I was living in Dubai at the time, and I had some really quite serious health issues, and I was having to cut out gluten, I was cutting out dairy, I was cutting out all kinds of crazy things you wouldn't imagine. And one thing I really missed was ice cream. And one of my friends convinced me, they were like, just have a Thermomix demo, it will blow you away. So I did, after a lot of convincing. And the first thing we made was this Fruity Dream. And I could not believe that this was like a real fruit ice cream, was made with just 3 ingredients and all things that I could eat. And it was a life changer. And it was that recipe that inspired me to become a consultant and share the Thermomix with other people. So here I am, still like 8 years later. So this recipe is so clever. I am going to just go start cooking. The first thing it asked me to add is 80 grams of raw sugar. Now, like, the other girls have said, you can absolutely half the sugar, cut the sugar out, replace it with monk fruit, do whatever you want to do. I'm going to put a wee bit of raw sugar in my one tonight. And then I'm going to pop the lid on. And like we have seen Parmesan cheese being milled, we've seen almonds that were milled down. We're now going to mill sugar. How cool is this? Actually, what I'm going to do, I am going to add a couple of fresh mint leaves. So I'm going to do like a really nice minted sugar. So put that back on. Looks like I'm setting my Thermomix on fire with it coming out, but it's just the sugar, powdered sugar. So this is just awesome. I've got, it's going to be hard to see, but I've got the mint. Oh, if you guys could smell that, it's just insane. A beautiful minted sugar. And then I am going to add the frozen fruit, and it says 600 to 650 grams of frozen fruit. So I've got a mixture of some pineapple, which I'd actually brought fresh and just frozen in little pieces. And then I've also got a bag of frozen mango. So I'd love for you guys to think, if you were making this at home, what fruit would you use to whip up a real fruit ice cream to your taste? Pop it in the chat. And we're just going to crush. I did well there, didn't I? I'm going to crush this down for about 40 seconds. So I'm doing that. Think about if you were making this at home, what fruit would you use?
We've got some flavour combinations here. We've got strawberry, we've got mixed berry, feijoas are amazing. Yeah, so freeze those feijoas. It's really great in summertime when you've got that beautiful, fresh and like really sweet nectarines and peaches. Cut them off and freeze them. They are phenomenal. Oh, look, Jessica said she actually freezes a tin of peaches. I love that. Cherry strawberry. Yes. Sorry, Julia. There you go.
No, amazing. All good. And that didn't even take, that full amount of time. I don't know if you saw, I stopped it early because I've been cooking with a Thermomix for a while now. I can kind of really hear when things are done. So you can just stop at any time. If you look at that, it's just like beautiful whipped mango and pineapple with that minted sugar. But if you think that looks awesome, just wait till you see this. Now, what we're going to do is I'm just going to move some of the fruit to the side. And then the recipe tells me to insert my butterfly. So this is something that just sits on top of the blades. And I must say it's one of the things I love about the Thermomix is that no matter what you are doing in your Thermomix, whether you're making pizza bread, whether you're cooking curry or making ice cream, it's all done with the same blade. You don't have to change it for different functions and features. But the butterfly is one thing that we've got that we can pop on top that's going to aerate and whip things. So with that, we're going to add just 1 egg white. And that is it, people. We are going to pop that on. And we're going to set that for a minute, whipping at speed 4. We never go above speed 4 with a butterfly. So I'll let that whip.
Fab. While you're whipping, Julia, do you want to come back to me and I'll put my next ingredient into my curry?8Awesome. Thank you. So that was good timing, actually. It just finished steaming off. So my trivet, my varoma is really hot and steamy. So I use that to become a bit of a trivet to catch any of the drips. You'll see here that my cauliflower is just perfectly cooked. It's not overdone and soggy and, losing all the good nutrients in it. I'm going to take off the lid now and then add in my coconut cream. I've actually just got half a can of coconut cream. I had a bit of extra chicken in there. I'm confident that that has cooked as well. I'll put my coconut cream. Coconut cream is something you can actually make with your Thermomix as well. So if you've got desiccated coconut in the cupboard and no coconut cream and you want to whip up a curry, you can absolutely do that as well. Pop that in, add in my lid and my measuring cup, and now it's going to heat that through literally for just a couple of seconds. Put the measuring cup in, about 2 minutes, and it's going to just stir that on the backward speed and warm through.
Alrighty, that is done. Check this out. Oopsie, make sure I don't tip it all over my screen. Can you see the Fruity Dream there?
Yes, I'm just trying to find you.
Oh, okay, yeah. We need a moment here. I don't know if you can kind of see the swirl there, but it is absolutely delightful. It's like a soft serve, dreamy kind of whip. And yeah, just 3 ingredients, a real showstopper. If you whip that up for people when they come over, you are going to blow them away in your own family. Now, you may see that my Thermomix looks a little bit different to Lea and Abby's. And that is because I am lucky enough to have one of the new sparkly black limited edition Thermomixes. We've got a couple of them in the country that we're taking around. It really is something that you do kind of need to see in person. So it's a little bit hard to see with the different lights here, how it kind of shines and glimmers. And at the moment, we are not selling these Thermomixes right now. We are expecting them to come to New Zealand later in the year, but we do have a phenomenal opportunity for anybody who wants to come and work with us. And I can promise you, we are looking for Thermomix consultants right throughout New Zealand. The more consultants we have, the more people we can just show what is possible with cooking with a Thermomix. And Thermomix, they really look after us as consultants, and they wanted to give us the opportunity first to earn one. So if you're curious, if you've already got a white one on your bench top, or you want to come on board and earn one, you can absolutely have the opportunity to earn one of these as well. So if you'd like to know more, we run business information sessions so that we can share how that could work, or have a chat with your consultant who invited you on this evening. I think we're back to you now, are we, Abby?
Sure, yeah. I just saw a question from Marianne. Sorry, hold on. We'll play Spotlight. There we go. When will more cutters be available?
Oh, that's a good question, Marianne.
Who knows? The $100 question. That's right. So at the moment, there's just been so much want for them that they've sold out worldwide. Like they are manufacturing them as fast as they can. So we're unsure. However, there is a couple left over for our consultants who can actually earn them in their first 60 days as a little kind of reward for them to be in their consultancy business. So that's one way you can get them, well, probably the only way you can get them at the moment if you really want one on your bench. So have a talk to your consultant. Like Julia said, we can guide you around what that can look like if you're interested. Lee, are you nearly done, or do you want? Yeah, okay, cool.
Sure am. So my curry's finished. I was just going to show you, we've been talking a little bit about host rewards. I've got the beautiful over thermo server here, and I'm going to put my curry into there. The great thing about this is it's going to keep things warm for up to 2 hours and cool for up to an hour. So have a demo with your consultant, either virtually or in person, and you could choose this. And we have got some other fabulous host rewards to choose from. This is a great one because it does hold the entire capacity of the Thermomix bowl as well. So I'm going to pop that in, and then I'll try and show you with my camera angles, because I don't want to be tipping chicken curry all over my laptop keypad, but you'll be able to see my dinner is done. So I've got a beautiful chicken curry. I'll see if I can just bring the angles down there, and some low carb cauliflower rice. Whoop. It's been steamed off. Absolutely delicious. Done in under 30 minutes. So if quick, healthy, delicious dinners, it was something that you said was important to you, this is an absolute winner. Highly recommend.
Beautiful. Thank you, Lee. That looks amazing. Who else reckons? That looks so good. And if you want to taste that one in person, that's one that's on our host cooking experience menu. So you know what to do. We've said it a few times today. Talk to your consultant and book that one in. While I've got about a minute or two left on my pizza, and I did just check it, but I do think it just needs a minute or two more. What I want to do is just jump back in here and show you a couple of things. So you probably have already heard tonight the passion that's coming from us as consultants. We do love what we do. We are often what we call raving fans that have jumped on because we already tell everybody all about our Thermomixes, and that might be you as well. If you feel like that kind of person, this job might just be right for you as well. So not only are we passionate about our machines, we are absolutely passionate about making sure you are using your machine to the greatest ability and learning lots as well. And some of the ways we do that, so we have our cooking experiences, like what we're doing tonight, virtually in person, however that may look for you. If you buy a machine, when you get that, we unpack your machine with you, go through your machine, get you up and running, and make sure that you're feeling really comfortable and supported in that journey to get you started. We also run cooking classes, both virtually and in person, and there's some classes all around New Zealand, which are really great fun to be part of. All right. And if Thermomix is something that you are wanting to get on your bench, here's some options of how you can get one. So we've talked about the price. The price is $2,499. And at the moment, we have a great opportunity to earn your Thermomix. So when what is normally sells 6 Thermomixes in 60 days is now 4 Thermomixes. We've got until the 4th of July to get signed up for that. So if that's something you're interested in, let's get moving so you guys can get onto that. We have a great business session which you can jump on and learn all about how that looks and what our companies like to work with. We've got some great payment plans. We have 3 payments over 3 months. We have 24 months interest free as well. And if that's something you want more info, and pop it in the chat. You're welcome to stay on at the end as well and ask us any questions. about any of these things. And we've got our one-off payment, so by card, bank transfer, anything like that too. All right, and I'm going to stop sharing there and jump. Sorry, it's hard to. There we go. Okay, and I'm just going to pull out my pizza and have a little look. Sizzling away. Another fun thing you might have seen on the mix shop is actually the Ovana pizza oven that we do sell as well. So, you know, if this was a Friday night pizza, I could actually be cooking it in there, and this would have been done in 3 minutes flat. But tonight it's an oven job and it looks and smells amazing. I don't know that I'm going to be able to wait till tomorrow, because I might just have to have a sneaky piece before bed. That just smells so good. Is that something that you guys can see making for your friends and family too? You can imagine turning up to a you know, a dinner party or something with something like that and a beautiful dip that you've made. I know I'd be pretty happy with that. Oh, there's my timer. All right, I might pass back to you, Julia.
Awesome. I think, yeah, we've come to the end of our demonstration tonight. We would really like to thank you for taking the time to spend with us. As we have suggested, we will happily stay on and answer any specific questions that you've got. Or if you'd like to see more, we can certainly arrange, you know, a session, especially for you, where you choose a menu that speaks to you and the type of cooking that you like to do, because so much is possible with the Thermomix. So thank you very much, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.